Okay, for today's tutorial, what we're going to do is we're going to work on creating a LOMO effect. Now, that is taken from a cross-process film process where you actually take color slide film and you develop in C41 process, which is a little bit interesting because normally it's developed in E6 process chemicals, so you end up with these oversaturated colors and kind of these freaky looks. So I'm going to start by opening my picture. Today what I'm going to use is a cute little owl. This is a Mexican spotted owl and a picture my husband actually took while we were in Zion National Park. So props for my husband. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be using our regular lasso tool. We're going to set our feather up here at the top from 0 to somewhere between 80 and 90. Okay, and we're going to be drawing a circle. Doesn't have to be perfect because our feather is kind of set to spread it out. And we're going to circle back in on ourselves. Okay, then we're going to go to select inverse. And what this is going to let us do, it's going to let us color everything in that area. So over here, I'm going to then add an adjustment layer. And I'm going to actually be playing with the levels for this adjustment layer. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be moving this arrow, the one in the middle, over slightly. Do you see how it's creating a darker edge or a vignette around my original picture? Now you want to be careful with this because you can go too far, but you want to have that slightly darker edge. That's what's going to make this effect really pop. Okay, when you're all done with that, what I suggest you do is save, just so you have a different version of this and you don't actually save over your original picture. So I would file, save as, and create a new image just in case you ever want to come back from this image. Because what we're going to be doing is we're now going to be merging our visible. So it's going to combine into one. So no longer am I going to be able to play with that levels adjustment layer. Okay, after that I'm going to add a curve. And I'm going to make this slightly a slanted S. Okay, do you see it's almost too much in places? Because you still want to get a lot of your detail in, but you still want to have that oversaturation of colors. Okay, after that, what you're going to do is you're going to add another layer, and you're actually going to fill this layer with a color. So I can go up here to layer, new fill, solid color, press OK, and what we want to do is fill it as black. Okay, after that we're going to be turning our opacity down, and you can kind of judge what's best for you. Because I still want white in my picture. So that's not bad. I could probably go, I would say right around 25 to 30 is good for me. You could go as high as 40. It's just whatever's good for your picture. So really think about, do I have black? Do I have white? Because you don't want to make it too dark and eerie. You still want to let some of those contrasts kind of come through. Now, what we have left to do is we need to sharpen our image. So once again, I suggest saving, because when you go to image mode, lab color, it is going to ask you to flatten. And you're going to say OK. So I flattened this. So that's all ready to go. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my channels. So you can see lab, lightness, A, and B. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just click on lightness, and I'm going to go to filter, sharpen, unsharpen mask. Okay, and I'm going to set the amount to 50, the threshold to 0, and the radius to 50. You see how it's making it a little sharper? Like you could really see the change from 0 to 50. is a lot. Okay, and this is another thing that you might want to play with. So you could always start at 50 and then just decide to go back or not. So I'm going to press OK. I'm going to turn my colors back on. And you see how it became really, really saturated? But some of those details like really popped through. So if I step backwards, okay, I'm going to try that again so I can show you what it would look like a little bit different. So filter, sharpen, unsharpen mask. And let's say we're going to go 50, 50, 0. Let's see what the difference is. Okay, and to me that's more subtle and I actually like that effect better. But you are in charge. You are the boss. You can play with all of those numbers and figure out what you want. Now, when you're all done, what you're going to do is you're going to go back to mode RGB color. Okay, once again, your image has been flattened and it is ready to go. So let's see the before and after really quick. Let me pop this picture back up. You can do it, computer. Let's save this. File save as MacArthur. LOMO. Okay. And then let's see the difference. Okay, so 1 versus 2. Now, I lost some detail in my eyes, which I don't like, so I might go back and change some of this, like the little subtleties. But overall, I think it was pretty successful. Now I can I can print this out and I'd be ready to go. Hope you enjoyed your tutorial.